sometime during the noon hour, but our noon interview got here a little early, so we're going to go ahead and put him on the air right now. Great songwriter, playwright, actor, musician, fronts a band called Glam Billy, originally from Ohio, now called San Antonio home. He's been extremely busy on the Texas music scene, not only with his music, but kickboxing, writing plays, and even doing some acting. Hans Frank, welcome back to the Kpft studios, my man. How you doing?
All right, how you doing? Nice to be here.
Good to see you.
Always good to be here.
Good to see you, man. Driving in from San Antonio this morning?
Yes, sir. Got up at 6:30. Got a rent a car. Never did figure out how to work the defrost.
Had to keep wiping.
Really disappointed with that. You know, I haven't listened to XM radio for a while. It's just awful.
It's the same stuff as regular radio.
Yeah,
that's from what I understand.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Well, good to have you here
All the more
making
reasons you
real
have to
radio.
Appreciate things like KPFT and your terrestrial radio where you can get it. You got to really appreciate it and nurture it and give them money and all that.
Yeah, anyway, that's always good. Thanks for putting that out there. Hey, you're originally from Ohio. How did music start in your life?
Well, I'm from southeastern Ohio, and I differentiate that because the rest of the state doesn't really want to have anything to do with this, and that's fine. But
you're backwoods Ohio.
Yeah. I'm pretty much. I always say that I'm from the tri-state region: southeastern Ohio, eastern Kentucky, western West Virginia, because it's kind of its own little country there. Mm-hmm. You know, it's in the Appalachian region. But basically, my mother was a musician, you know, and so I grew up always surrounded by music, and piano was my first instrument, and I didn't like the rigors of the lessons, as it were, and so moved on to guitar, was always around banjo and Appalachian type music too. And my aunt gave me a Jimi Hendrix record when I was really young, so that sort of was my entree into rock and roll. My brother was grew up in Venice Beach. We had different mothers, although my mother was his mother, and so on and so forth. But I just say that because he was in one place and I was in the other. So he grew up in Venice Beach and in L.A. and so on and so forth. So he exposed me to a lot of punk bands, Orange County stuff, L.A. stuff, all that great music there.
Okay.
So I had a lot of different exposure to a lot of different types of music early on, and it helped really kind of inform my view of music.
So even though you moved on a guitar, you still play and tour with a keyboard.
Yeah. Glam Billy's not happening anymore. That's not.
It's done.
That's done. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm doing my solo thing, which is Hans Frank Gallo, and that's a little bit more roots-based music.
Okay.
It's playing traditional primitive style banjo, and slide guitar, country blues, and old-timey piano.
Okay.
And I just came back from West Texas. I was out there, San Angelo and Marfa, Alpine, and all that. And so I'm still doing that, and I got a bunch of other things going. Chief among them is my new label, Goat Song, and you can check it out, www.goatsong.us.
Okay. And I asked you why you're forming this label, and you told me that you have so much material that you've recently uncovered that has not seen the light of day. So you'd like to start this label to get some of your music out there.
Well, there was about I had about 9 albums that have been out there in some capacity, but they've never quite got their proper due in terms of promotion because there was nobody really to do it. So it befalls on me to do it, And up to this point, I haven't had any really a way to do it cohesively under one umbrella, And it's all good stuff, and it's very eclectic. And there's a lot of great artists that have been involved with these various projects, and so forth, so on and so forth. And then as well, too, I discovered a lot of stuff that I'd totally forgotten about or that was lost, live recordings from different bands, from previous bands or, bands I've been involved with not too long ago, singles that I forgot about, live recordings, so on and so forth.
Sure.
Different projects in general, so.
I played one from Tin City Run yesterday, and that was a band you were in about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And you just told me that they have you had a live record that never really did anything. So you're going to put that out on the new label.
Yeah, because, originally it was, we didn't really have anything recorded. And we were trying to decide on, we had just got signed to Universal. And we didn't really we got signed based on a competition that was sponsored by
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper and the television show, Texas Country Reporter.
Okay.
And so we didn't have a recording, and so they signed us based on our performance of 3 songs. So we didn't really know what songs we were going to do. So it was like, well, we don't really have the money or the time to to do a demo, so let's record a live album. So we recorded this live album just so that the CEO of Universal could hear, our set and so on and so forth, and we could make decisions based on that. So it was basically like a demo, but it was a really good live album, And we never did anything with it because we went ahead and got signed to Universal, and we put that out, and totally forgot about it. And it's like it was recorded by a guy in San Antonio at a venue down there, and it's great, and it really captured, I think, the band at a watershed sort of moment in their career, which was, are we going to quit doing this, or are we going to go on and try to go for it? And implosion was always, in the peripheral.
Sure.
But I think that this specific recording really captures that. It's real edgy and so on and so forth.
Very nice. Well, I love the studio album, so I can't wait to hear the live stuff. I'm sure it's fantastic. We're talking to Hans Frank from San Antonio, Texas, just about to start a brand new label. I guess it's already up and running, right?
Yeah, you can check it out at www.goatsong.us. It started a little bit before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I rolled it out. Got five releases up there. I'm going to be rolling out a new one, each month for the next 4 months. And then after that, I'll be starting to get into some of the archives, and then at some point, we'll be doing some new stuff with some new bands, and new artists.
And you just handed me a song that we're going to play right now, and this is something you found laying around, I guess. And tell folks a little bit about this.
Well, this was a collaboration between myself and a drummer named Bobby Natanson, who passed away about 4 years ago around this time of year. And he was the original. He was actually the last drummer to play in 10 City Run. He played with me at the Ryman. We opened for Ray Price, who just passed away too.
Right.
And he was the first Glam Billy drummer. And he was just a wild man. He was a jazz drummer first and foremost. He played with Gabo Zabo and a lot of jazz, greats. He played in a band called the Swinging Lads, which toured all over, the country. They were on the Ed Sullivan Show back in the day. You can see footage of him on the Dean Martin Show, And he was real tripped out, sort of beat meets, Hollywood Squares,
Okay.
And so he was real poetic, and he was an artist and so on and so forth. So we did this thing, and it was kind of a beat, Lord Buckley, jazz, samba, et cetera, type of meets stream of consciousness type of, poetic narrative. And I just wrote the music, and he just went off and told the story about a pilot that's flying pharmaceuticals into Mexico, and is down there watching it, and is taking a break at a hotel, and is watching a cliff diving competition, and falls in love with a mermaid, and so that's really the crux of it, So that this year I usually do something to sort of
Pay tribute
to him, right? And because this is about the time of year that he died, and so this year I thought it was apropos to launch my label with that release, So that's kind of the featured. That's been the featured release of the last month.
All right. Well, here it is.
Okay.
On Kpft. Very nice.